In the desolate mountainous area, a group of people appeared, standing around a magic circle. A voice rang out. "This place is deserted, not a soul in sight. It's suitable for a sacrifice." The one-eyed man leading the group spoke. "As long as we successfully awaken that being, our dragon-returning sect will have the capital to rule the world." A subordinate behind him chimed in. "Even if they racked their brains this time, they wouldn't have expected us to choose this location to set up the array, and it's been incredibly smooth." "Ha ha, the dragon-returning sect is the leader of all sects," another person holding a banner shouted. "Loyalty to the dragon-returning sect." The one-eyed man placed his hands in front of him and began to murmur incantations. Finally, he shouted, "Primal, activate!" As soon as the words left his mouth, the prearranged magic circle suddenly flashed with a red light. The spiritual energy erupting from the formation unexpectedly spread rapidly to the mountaintop. Immediately after, a streak of purple lightning from the sky suddenly struck directly at the mountaintop. The one-eyed man yelled, "Ascending dragon!" The subordinate standing behind muttered, "It looks a little like that thing." The person next to him interjected, "That's because you don't understand the art." Not letting the two say more, the one-eyed man roared, "The teleportation gate is forming!" The teleportation gate, just created by the magic circle, suddenly appeared on the mountaintop. Someone, overjoyed, cried out, "Success!" From within the teleportation gate, a pitch-black monster had suddenly emerged. "This is the beginning of the dragon-returning sect." The whole group gathered on the mountain looked at the giant dragon that had just appeared and shouted, "Progenitor dragon!" They all knelt down and chanted loudly, "Welcome, Dragon King! Welcome, Dragon King! Welcome, Dragon King!" Someone among them excitedly exclaimed, "That's the 7th layer of the Mahayana realm! Heaven bless the dragon-returning sect! We are about to be invincible!" The next second, a massive explosion suddenly rang out. The teleportation gate, along with the progenitor dragon, was instantly shattered. Rocks and dust flew up, obscuring the sky. The people of the dragon-returning sect were dumbfounded. They looked up at the scattered flesh and blood, teeth, and scales of the progenitor dragon flying everywhere, their mouths agape in astonishment. One of them, wide-eyed, stammered, "The progenitor dragon is just dead." From the air, a person in a large robe suddenly descended. It was Hanju. His landing force was so strong that rocks and dust flew everywhere. The dragon-returning sect members shouted, "Who are you?" Hanju, at this moment, was in so much pain that he wanted to die. His face was twisted and pale. The Homing spiritual bloodline is too dominant. "I'm about to lose control." Rocks rolled up and wrapped around him. He thought to himself, "I originally planned to return to the cave dwelling for closed-door cultivation to refine the bloodline, but the power hidden within exceeded my imagination. To avoid affecting the asceticism cultivation mountain, I chose a deserted place." The next second, with Hanju as the center, a blinding light suddenly burst forth around him. The one-eyed man retreated in fear. He stammered aggressively, "Don't be presumptuous." Before he could finish his sentence, the light swept over him and the people behind him, turning them into dust. The mountaintop was now silent, devoid of people. A wave of white light suddenly swept across the area. Immediately after, the mountain abruptly exploded. Elsewhere, in the upper realm, someone sitting in an ancient well was startled. "This aura!" the person secretly calculated with their fingers. The next second, their voice suddenly trembled. "How can this be?" A loud shout came from the ancient well. "Someone has awakened the Homing physique! You heavenly court have hidden it well!" At the same time, in the Buddhist sect, at the Divine Palace, someone also sensed this event. Even the heavenly emperor was slightly surprised. He thought, a little confused, why is the heavenly court's fortune suddenly increasing so strongly? The heavenly emperor began to calculate with his fingers. He felt bewildered. Could someone be plotting something? Wait a minute, the source of the fortune is from the Crimson Cloud realm. The Heavenly Emperor turned his head in surprise and looked in one direction. Besides that brat, who else could it be? Let me see what this is about. The Heavenly Emperor suddenly looked up, startled. His divine sense swept toward Hanju. This blood essence, I actually can't see through it. All this concealment makes it impossible for me to deduce its origin. What exactly is its background? A gleam flashed in the Heavenly Emperor's eyes. Never mind, I'll help you conceal it completely then. The Heavenly Emperor did not set out for the Crimson Cloud realm but used his divine sense to envelop the entire heavenly court, preventing anyone from descending to the mortal realm. There were quite a few powerful figures hidden within the heavenly court, some not inferior to the Heavenly Emperor. The Heavenly Emperor was afraid that others might scheme against Hanju. Only a small number of powerful figures noticed the heavenly court's fortune rapidly increasing. Most of the immortals and gods did not perceive anything unusual and continued with their own affairs. A month later, Hanju's 6 paths reincarnation magic power instantly soared several times over. His soul and divine sense advanced even more remarkably, allowing him to perceive the vigorous vitality and spiritual essence of all things. In the vast universe, a mechanical sound suddenly rang out. Download successful. Update complete. Hanju took a deep breath. As expected, it's overwhelmingly dominant, he thought to himself. The Hongming spiritual body can borrow the power of spiritual essence. If I use the sword opens primordial chaos, I should first open the Hongming spiritual essence, and then gather the power of spiritual essence for combat. In the simulated trial arena, Hanju stood against the Longshan model. Longshan suddenly lifted his toes, he vanished from his spot, then built momentum and rapidly lunged towards Hanju. Longshan gathered spiritual power in his palm, forming a golden orb. He appeared right behind Hanju and struck down with full force. Hanju suddenly curled his lips into a faint smile. So you know teleportation. If it were before, I would have definitely suffered a huge loss, but now. He abruptly extended his hand in front of Longshan. Your Highness, you're still one step too slow. Hanju was then heard saying. Sword opens primordial chaos plus spiritual essence convergence. He unleashed a strike that pierced through Longshan's body, shattering his bones. Hanju looked at Longshan's shattered simulated trial body and muttered, under the enhancement of spiritual essence, the power has increased by more than 100 times. If fighting in the boundless spiritual sea, I would be nearly invincible. Unless the opponent's realm far surpasses mine. The most important thing is that my cultivation speed will only increase from now on, truly worthy of being created by Hongming. After 100-fold increase in power, it might not be impossible to fight Tai Bai. Hanju confidently declared. System, arrange the next opponent. The system materialized Tai Bai's body. It spoke with a mechanical tone. Tai Bai, Tai Golden Immortal Realm Perfect Completion. Hanju continued to use. Sword opens primordial chaos plus spiritual essence convergence. Unleashing an attack on Tai Bai. Tai Bai stood still, swaying gracefully to easily dodge. Witnessing this scene, a huge question mark immediately appeared in Hanju's mind. He furiously and continuously launched the combined attack technique at Tai Bai in front of him, but all were easily dodged by the elderly immortal. Hanju somewhat unwillingly roared. Is Tai Bai this slippery? Before long, the simulated trial arena was filled with smoke and dust. Inside, Hanju's voice echoed. As expected of a powerhouse who almost became an immortal emperor. His movement is as smooth as silk. Increase the intensity for me. Sword chi coverage. Apply the weakened state. A series of increasingly frantic shouts followed. Finally, Hanju couldn't hold back anymore and bellowed. Take the strongest move of my life. He used his colossal nose to strike directly at Tai Bai. Not to be outdone, Tai Bai used his 2 long, bushy nose hairs to block the attack. Hanju was so angry that smoke was practically coming out of his ears, but he couldn't do anything to him. At the same time, the system announced. Simulated trial arena stopped. Usage time, 17 minutes and 34 seconds. After leaving the trial arena, Hanju thought to himself, indeed, I can't instantly kill Tai Bai. After all, there's still a gap of one major realm between us. He collapsed onto the ground. I didn't expect Tai Bai's exclusive weapon to be his nose hairs. That's disgusting. There's even some liquid and something else stuck to it. It seems I don't have the right to say these words. Hanju secretly made up his mind, if I can't instantly kill Tai Bai, I'll temporarily avoid interacting with him. Just then, someone spoke up. Let's chat a bit. A shadowy figure suddenly descended from above Hanju's head. What bloodline are you? Why is your blood essence so powerful? Hanju was startled and amazed. His eyes almost popped out as he loudly exclaimed, Your Majesty! This is the end of the video. Catch the next chapters on the Kappa-sama YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to support me. Thank you all very much.